Chapter 1. The year starts with a bang. Jackie Pond had always loved New Year's Eve. The glitter, the countdown, the promise of a fresh start. It was her favorite holiday. This year, she was determined to make it perfect. She had the dress, the heels, and the boyfriend who looked like he'd stepped out of a men's style magazine. Max was the kind of man who made other women glance twice and then sigh because he was clearly taken. Solid, dependable, handsome in that understated way that didn't scream for attention. Jackie liked that about him. She liked a lot of things about him. What she didn't notice, what she never noticed, was the way his jaw tightened every time her friends laughed a little too hard at his expense. The party was in full swing at her best friend Tessa's loft downtown. Music pulsed through the speakers, champagne flowed like water, and everyone was dressed like they were auditioning for a reality show about glamorous 20-somethings. Jackie floated through the crowd, laughing, hugging, sipping from her flute. Max stayed close, his hand resting lightly on the small of her back, the way he always did when they were out together. Protective but never possessive. She loved that about him too. "Jackie," Tessa squealed, pulling her into a hug that smelled like expensive perfume and vodka. "You look amazing." And Max. She turned to him with a grin that was just a little too mischievous. "You clean up nice, big guy." Max smiled politely. "Thanks, Tess." "Oh, come on," Tessa said, looping her arm through Jackie's and dragging her toward the kitchen island where a group had gathered. "We were just talking about resolutions. What's yours, Jackie?" Jackie laughed. "To stop eating carbs after midnight." "Lame," someone shouted. "Max, what about you?" He hesitated, then shrugged. "Same as last year. Work hard. Stay healthy." "Boring," Tessa declared, and the group erupted in laughter. Jackie laughed too, because that was what you did when everyone else was laughing. She didn't see the flicker in Max's eyes, the way his smile didn't quite reach them. Wait, another friend, Kyle, the self-appointed comedian of the group, held up a hand. "I've got a better one for Max. How about learn how to dance so Jackie doesn't have to pretend she's dating a tree?" The laughter was louder this time, sharp and bright. Jackie felt her cheeks flush, but she laughed anyway. Because it was funny, wasn't it? Max wasn't much of a dancer. He knew it. She knew it. Everyone knew it. Max chuckled softly, but inside, something shifted. He'd been through this before. Little jabs, harmless jokes, all in good fun. Except lately it didn't feel like fun. Felt like a pattern. A slow, grinding pattern that wore him down one laugh at a time. Jackie leaned in and kissed his cheek. "Ignore them," she whispered, smiling. "You're perfect." He smiled back, but the words didn't land the way she thought they would. Perfect. If he were perfect, would he feel like the punchline every time they went out? The night rolled on. Drinks multiplied, music got louder, and the jokes kept coming. Someone dared Max to sing karaoke. He declined politely, but that only fueled the teasing. Jackie laughed again, because what else could she do? It was harmless. It was just friends being friends. When the countdown began, 10, 9, 8, Jackie grabbed Max's hand and pulled him close. Fireworks exploded outside the window, and everyone shouted, "Happy New Year!" Champagne glasses clinked, confetti rained down, and Jackie kissed Max like she meant it. Because she did. She loved him. She loved this life. She loved this moment. Max kissed her back, but his mind was somewhere else. Somewhere quieter. Somewhere far away from the laughter that still echoed in his ears. Later, as they walked to the car, Jackie looped her arm through his and smiled up at him. "See? Perfect night." Max looked at her, really looked at her, and for a second he almost said what he was thinking. Almost told her that perfect nights didn't feel so perfect when you were the joke everyone laughed at. But he didn't, because Max wasn't the kind of man who picked fights at midnight on New Year's Eve. Instead, he smiled faintly and said, "Yeah, perfect." Jackie squeezed his arm, oblivious to the storm brewing behind his calm eyes. "This year's going to be amazing," she said. Max nodded, but inside, he made a silent promise. Something has to change this year. One way or another. Chapter 2. Jackie's Perfect Life. The first Monday of the new year dawned bright and cold, sunlight bouncing off a thin layer of frost on Jackie's apartment windows. She woke up feeling smugly optimistic, the way people do when they've survived the holiday chaos and still have all their limbs, and most of their dignity, intact. Jackie Pond was 27, employed, and in a relationship that Instagram would envy. She had the kind of job that sounded impressive at parties, marketing strategist for a mid-sized tech firm, and the kind of boyfriend who made her mother's friends whisper, "How did she land him?" Jackie didn't think of it that way, of course. She thought of Max as Max solid, steady. The guy who remembered her coffee order and never forgot to lock the door at night. The guy who didn't flinch when her dad launched into one of his marriage is a scam monologues over Sunday brunch. Speaking of which, today was brunch day. Jackie pulled on her favorite sweater dress, the one that made her look effortlessly chic, and headed to Russell's house. Her father lived in a modest two-story on the edge of town, the kind of place that smelled faintly of sawdust and strong coffee. Russell Pond was 48, divorced, and had the kind of rugged handsomeness that made women at the hardware store linger a little too long in the paint aisle. Jackie hated that thought, but she couldn't deny it. Her dad was, well, her dad. And apparently still marketable. When Jackie walked in, Russell was at the kitchen table, nursing a mug of black coffee and scrolling through his phone like it owed him money. "Morning, Dad," Jackie sang, dropping her coat on the back of a chair. Russell looked up, his blue eyes sharp under a furrowed brow. "You're late. It's brunch, not a board meeting," Jackie said, kissing his cheek. "Relax." "I was relaxed until you showed up 30 minutes late," Russell muttered, but his lips twitched like he was fighting a smile. "Sit down. I made pancakes." Jackie blinked. "You? Made pancakes?" Russell shrugged. "New year, new me." Jackie laughed, sliding into a chair. "What's next? Yoga? Meditation?" "Don't push it," Russell said, flipping a pancake onto her plate. "So, how was the big party?" Jackie grinned. "Amazing. Everyone was there." Tessa's loft looked like a Pinterest board exploded. Russell sipped his coffee. "And Max?" Jackie's smile softened. "Perfect, as always." Russell gave her a look, the kind that said he wasn't buying the glossy magazine version. "Perfect, huh? That's a dangerous word." Jackie rolled her eyes. "Here we go." "I'm just saying," Russell continued, leaning back in his chair. "Perfect doesn't exist. You start thinking someone's perfect, you stop paying attention. That's how you miss the cracks." Jackie stabbed a piece of pancake with unnecessary force. "Max doesn't have cracks." Russell smirked. "Everyone has cracks, Jackie. Even me." "Yeah, but yours are more like potholes," Jackie teased, and Russell barked out a laugh. "Fair enough," he said. "But seriously, don't take him for granted." Jackie waved a hand. "I don't. We're solid." Russell's expression softened, but his voice carried that edge of hard-earned wisdom. "Solid doesn't mean unbreakable." Jackie hated when he got like this, philosophical, brooding, like a man who'd stared too long into the abyss of divorce court. She knew his story by heart. 21 years of marriage, gone in a puff of smoke because her mother decided boredom was a deal-breaker. No regret, no sorrow, no empathy. Just gone. It had changed Russell, carved something out of him that Jackie couldn't quite name. She tried to lighten the mood. "You sound like a fortune cookie." Russell chuckled. "Yeah? Well, maybe you should read the message." Jackie smiled, but inside, she felt a tiny flicker of unease. She brushed it off. Max was fine. They were fine. Everything was fine. Later, driving home, Jackie replayed Russell's words in her head. "Don't take him for granted." She wasn't, was she? She thought about the party, about the jokes, about how Max had smiled, sort of. Maybe he was tired. Maybe he hated karaoke. Who didn't? Jackie cranked up the radio and sang along, drowning out the doubt. Life was good. Max was good. And this year was going to be amazing. Chapter 3. Cracks in the Glass. By mid-January, Jackie was back in her rhythm. Work, gym, occasional wine nights with friends. Max was busy too, but that was normal. He had a demanding job in finance, the kind that came with spreadsheets and stress headaches. Jackie told herself that was why he seemed quieter lately. It wasn't her. Couldn't be her. Friday night rolled around, and Jackie was buzzing with excitement. Tessa had organized a karaoke night at a trendy bar downtown. Jackie loved karaoke. Max tolerated it. But he agreed to come because Max always agreed. That was one of the things Jackie adored about him. His willingness to show up for her, even when the activity wasn't his thing. The bar was packed, neon lights casting everything in shades of pink and blue. Jackie spotted her friends clustered near the stage, drinks in hand, voices already hoarse from shouting over the music. "Jackie!" Tessa waved like she was signaling a rescue helicopter. "Get over here." Jackie tugged Max along, grinning. "This is going to be fun." Max smiled faintly. "Sure." They joined the group, and Jackie immediately launched into hugs and chatter. Max stood beside her, hands in his pockets, scanning the room like a man calculating escape routes. Kyle, the group's resident comedian, was already in rare form. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, raising his beer like a microphone. "Tonight we witness history. Jackie Pond will attempt to hit a high note without shattering glass." Jackie laughed, tossing her hair. "Jealous much?" Kyle grinned. "Not at all. I'm saving my applause for Mac's word on the street is he's got moves." Jackie blinked. "Moves? Dance moves," Kyle said, eyes twinkling. "Come on, man. Give us a little something." The group erupted in cheers. "Yes, Max, Max, Max." Jackie laughed, nudging him playfully. "Just a little shimmy?" Max's jaw tightened. "I'm good." Kyle wasn't deterred. "Fine, then sing. Pick a song. Something romantic. Show Jackie how much you love her." Jackie felt heat creep up her neck. "Guys, stop. He doesn't have to." But it was too late. The chant had started. "Max, Max, Max." Max raised his hands in surrender, his smile thin. "All right, one song." The crowd cheered like he'd just agreed to streak through Times Square. Jackie clapped, relieved. See? He was being a good sport. Everything was fine. Until Max stepped up to the mic and Kyle whispered loudly, "Brace yourselves for the sound of dying whales." The laughter was instant, sharp, and Jackie, God help her. Laughed too. Not because she wanted to hurt Max, but because it was reflex. Everyone was laughing. It was a joke. Harmless. Max sang. Badly. Off-key, awkward, but earnest. Jackie tried to cheer him on, but the laughter drowned her out. Someone filmed it. Someone else shouted, "Put that on TikTok." Jackie laughed again, because what else could she do? When the song ended, Max handed back the mic and returned to Jackie's side. His smile was polite, but his eyes were distant. "You were great," Jackie said, squeezing his arm. "Sure," Max replied, voice flat. Jackie frowned. "Come on, it was fun." "Yeah," Max said, and that was all. Later, in the car, Jackie tried again. "You okay?" Max kept his eyes on the road. "Fine. You seemed quiet." He shrugged. "Just tired." Jackie let it go, but unease curled in her stomach. She told herself it was nothing. Just a bad night. Just stress. Just something that would pass. She didn't notice the way Max's hand tightened on the steering wheel, or the silent thought running through his head. This isn't fun anymore. Not for me. Chapter 4. Russell's reality check. Sunday brunch at Russell's house was a ritual Jackie rarely skipped. It wasn't just about pancakes and coffee. It was about grounding herself in the familiar warmth of her father's kitchen. Even if that warmth came with a side of unsolicited life advice. Russell was already at the stove when Jackie walked in, flipping bacon with the precision of a man who believed breakfast was a sacred art form. The kitchen smelled like heaven. Crispy bacon, buttery toast, and strong coffee that could wake the dead. "Morning," Jackie said, hanging her coat on the chair. "You're spoiling me." Russell grunted. "Don't get used to it. This is a one-time deal." Jackie laughed, sliding onto a stool at the counter. "You said that last week." Russell shot her a look. "Last week was pancakes. This is bacon. Completely different category." Jackie grinned. "You're evolving." Russell smirked. "New year, new me. Maybe I'll start a dating profile. Middle-aged man seeks woman who appreciates sarcasm and cholesterol." Jackie snorted coffee through her nose. "Dad." "What?" Russell said, deadpan. "You think women don't like honesty?" Jackie shook her head, laughing. "You're impossible." Russell plated the bacon and sat across from her, his expression softening. "So, how's Max?" Jackie smiled automatically. "Good. Busy with work." Russell raised an eyebrow. "Busy, huh? That code for acting weird?" Jackie frowned. "No, he's just quiet lately." Russell leaned back, folding his arms. "Quiet can mean a lot of things. Sometimes it means thinking. Sometimes it means planning." Jackie rolled her eyes. "Planning what? A surprise vacation?" Russell didn't smile. "Or an exit strategy." The words landed like a stone in Jackie's stomach. "What? No, he's not." "Dad, come on." Russell shrugged. "I've been around long enough to know when a man's pulling back. You notice anything? Less talking? Less laughing?" Jackie hesitated. "Maybe, but that's normal, right? People get comfortable." Russell's voice was calm, but his eyes were sharp. "Comfortable is one thing. Detached is another." Jackie stabbed her fork into a piece of bacon, irritation bubbling up. "You sound like a therapist." Russell chuckled. "Nah, therapists give hope. I give reality." Jackie groaned. "You're so dramatic." Russell leaned forward, his tone softening. "Listen, Jackie. You know I'm not bitter about what happened with your mom. I'm realistic. You can do everything right and still lose everything. That's not bitterness. That's life." Jackie swallowed hard. "You think I'm doing something wrong?" Russell didn't answer right away. He studied her face, then said quietly, "I think you're not paying attention." Jackie bristled. "I pay attention." "Do you?" Russell asked. "When you're out with your friends, do you notice how Max feels? Or are you too busy laughing?" Jackie froze, the memory of karaoke night flashing in her mind. Kyle's jokes, the laughter, Max's tight smile. Her stomach twisted. Russell saw it. "Thought so." Jackie pushed her plate away, suddenly not hungry. "It was just a joke." Russell's voice was gentle, but firm. "Respect isn't a joke." Jackie stared at him, words stuck in her throat. Russell reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "Don't make the same mistake I did," he said softly. "Don't assume love is enough. Without respect, it's nothing." Jackie nodded, but her mind was spinning. She wanted to argue, wanted to insist everything was fine. But for the first time, she wasn't sure. Later, driving home, Jackie replayed Russell's words over and over. Detached, respect, exit strategy. She gripped the steering wheel tighter, her chest tight with unease. Max wasn't leaving. He couldn't be. Could he? Chapter 5. The breaking point. The invitation had sounded innocent enough. Game night at Kyle's place. Bring snacks and your competitive spirit. Jackie loved game nights. Max tolerated them. He always did. That was part of what made him solid. His willingness to show up, even when the activity wasn't his idea of fun. Jackie arrived with Max in tow, arms full of chips and soda. Kyle's apartment was buzzing with laughter, the kind that spilled out into the hallway before they even knocked. Inside, The living room looked like a board game convention had exploded. Cards, dice, and snacks scattered across every surface. Jackie, Tessa squealed, rushing over in a glittery sweater that screamed, "Look at me." And Max, the man, the myth, the legend. Max smiled politely. "Hey, Tess." Kyle appeared, grinning like a cat with a secret. "Max, buddy, glad you came. We were just saying, tonight's the night you redeem yourself." Max frowned. "Redeem myself?" Kyle clapped him on the back. "After that karaoke massacre? Come on, man. You owe us." Jackie laughed because everyone else did. "It wasn't that bad." Kyle smirked. "My ears are still bleeding." The group roared. Jackie laughed again, but this time, it felt off. She glanced at Max, saw the tightness in his jaw, the way his smile didn't reach his eyes. A flicker of unease sparked in her chest, but she brushed it off. It was just Kyle being Kyle. They settled in for a round of charades. Jackie loved charades. Max hated it. He was a numbers guy, not a performer. But he played anyway because Max always played. When his turn came, Kyle handed him the card with a flourish. "All right, Max, show us what you've got." Max glanced at the card, then stood, stiff as a soldier. He started miming, a terrible attempt at swimming, then something that looked vaguely like a chicken having a seizure. The room erupted in laughter. Someone shouted, "Is that supposed to be Titanic or Chicken Run?" Jackie laughed too, because what else could she do? It was funny, wasn't it? Kyle doubled over, tears streaming down his face. "Oh my God, Max, you're killing me. This is gold." Max froze mid-motion, his face a mask of calm that wasn't calm at all. He dropped the card on the table and sat down without a word. Jackie leaned in, whispering, "Hey, it's just a game." Max didn't look at her. "Sure." The laughter rolled on, oblivious to the silence sitting heavy between them. Later, in the car, Jackie tried to fill the quiet. "That was fun, right?" Max stared straight ahead. "If you say so." Jackie frowned. "You're mad." "No," Max said, voice flat. "Just tired." Jackie reached for his hand. He didn't pull away, but he didn't squeeze back either. She wanted to ask more, wanted to dig, but something in his tone stopped her cold. So she stayed quiet, staring out the window as the city lights blurred past. When they got home, Max didn't linger. He kissed her cheek, barely, and headed for the shower. Jackie sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone, trying to shake the unease gnawing at her. She didn't see the way Max stood under the water, eyes closed, thinking, "This isn't working. I've tried. God knows I've tried. But I can't keep doing this." He thought about the laughter, the jokes, the way Jackie had laughed too. He thought about respect, about love, about the 1,000 tiny cuts that had bled him dry. And in that quiet, steamy bathroom, Max made a decision. Decisive. That's what he liked to call it. Chapter 6. The goodbye. Jackie's Friday had been ordinary in the best way. A productive day at work, a quick stop at her favorite coffee shop, and plans to binge-watch a new series with Max. She even picked up his favorite Thai takeout, extra spicy because he liked it that way. She hummed along to the radio as she climbed the stairs to their apartment, balancing the bag of food and her purse. The door was unlocked. That was odd. Max was meticulous about locking up. Jackie pushed the door open, calling out, "Max, you home?" Silence. She stepped inside, the hum of the refrigerator the only sound. The apartment felt wrong. Too still. Too empty. Jackie set the takeout on the counter and glanced around. The living room looked normal at first glance. Couch, coffee table, TV. But something was missing. The framed photo of them at the lake last summer? Gone. The stack of Max's finance magazines? Gone. A chill crept up her spine. "Max?" she called again, louder this time. No answer. Jackie walked down the hall, her heels clicking against the hardwood like gunshots. She pushed open the bedroom door and froze. His side of the closet was empty. The drawers where he kept his t-shirts? Empty. The shelves where his files and laptop bag sat? Empty. Jackie's breath hitched. "No," she whispered, her pulse pounding in her ears. She spun in a frantic circle, searching for something, anything that made sense. Her eyes landed on the bed. On her pillow lay a single envelope. Jackie's hands shook as she picked it up. Her name was written in Max's neat, steady handwriting. Jackie. She tore it open, heart hammering, and began to read. "Jackie, I can't keep living like this. Maybe I should have said something earlier, but there wasn't really anything to say. I thought we were building a future together. But somewhere along the line I stopped being your future and started being entertainment for you and your friends. I'm not your entertainment. I'm a good man who gave you 3 years of my life, and my reward was nearly a year of public humiliation like my feelings don't matter. I've got news for you, Jackie. They do matter, and this is the hardest truth I've come to accept. In order to love myself, I can't be with someone who only sees me as comic relief. Goodbye, Jackie. I truly hope you find what you're looking for. A little piece of advice. The next time a man gives you his heart, don't stomp on it in public. It hurts." Max, Jackie stared at the words until they blurred. Her knees gave out, and she sank onto the bed, the letter trembling in her hands. Her mind raced, grasping for explanations, excuses, anything that made this make sense. Public humiliation. What was he talking about? The jokes? The karaoke? That was harmless, wasn't it? Everyone laughed. She laughed. It wasn't cruel. It was fun, wasn't it? Jackie pressed a hand to her mouth, fighting the rising panic. This couldn't be happening. Max couldn't just leave. Not like this. Not without a conversation. Not without giving her a chance to fix it. She grabbed her phone, dialing his number with shaking fingers. Straight to voicemail. She tried again. Same result. Text messages flew. Where are you? Please call me. We can talk. Please. No response. Jackie's chest tightened until she could barely breathe. She stumbled to the living room, scanning for clues, for anything he might have left behind. Nothing. He'd taken everything that mattered, except the gifts she'd given him. Those sat neatly on the shelf, untouched, like silent witnesses to the end of something she thought was forever. Her vision blurred with tears. She needed answers. She needed someone to tell her this was a mistake, a misunderstanding, something fixable. There was only one person she could think of. Jackie grabbed her keys and bolted out the door, Max's letter clutched in her hand like a lifeline. She was going to her father. Chapter 7. Daddy Knows Best. Russell Pond wasn't easily rattled. Divorce had stripped him of illusions, and life had taught him that nothing was permanent. Not love, not promises, not even the things you thought were carved in stone. But when Jackie burst through his front door like a hurricane, clutching a crumpled piece of paper and wearing a look that could curdle milk, Russell knew something was very, very wrong. Dad! Jackie's voice cracked as she slammed the door behind her. He's gone. Russell set down his coffee mug slowly, like a man bracing for impact. Who's gone? Max. Jackie shoved the letter at him, her hands trembling. He left. He just left. Russell took the paper, his brow furrowing as he unfolded it. Jackie paced the kitchen like a caged animal, words tumbling out in a frantic rush. I came home and everything was gone. His clothes, his files, everything. He didn't even take the gifts I gave him. Just this note. I don't understand, Dad. I don't understand what happened. Russell didn't answer. His eyes moved steadily across the page, line by line, his expression darkening with every word. When he reached the end, he set the letter down with deliberate care, like it might explode if he handled it too roughly. Jackie stopped pacing. Well, say something. Russell looked at her, his jaw tight, his voice low and dangerous. What did you do? Jackie blinked, stunned. What? Nothing. I didn't do anything. He was just gone when I got home. Russell's eyes burned into hers. Jackie, this isn't nothing. Jackie threw her hands up, frustration boiling over. I have no idea what he's talking about. Public humiliation. Entertainment? That's insane. We were fine. Russell stood, his chair scraping against the tile like a warning shot. Fine? Jackie, this man gave you 3 years of his life and he walked out without a fight. You think that happens because everything was fine? Jackie's throat tightened. He never said anything. Not once. Russell's voice was sharp enough to cut glass. He didn't have to. He told me. Jackie froze. What? Russell's expression was grim, his words heavy. He came to see me before he left town. Told me everything. Jackie's stomach dropped like a stone. Everything. Russell nodded slowly. About every party, every dinner, every night you sat there and let your friends turn him into a joke. About how you laughed along. About how you never defended him. Jackie's breath hitched. That's not, Dad, it was just teasing. Everyone laughs. It wasn't serious. Russell slammed his hand on the counter, making Jackie jump. Respect isn't a joke. The silence that followed was deafening. Jackie stared at her father, her pulse pounding in her ears, her mind scrambling for excuses that suddenly sounded hollow. Russell's voice softened, but the steel remained. He told me something I'll never forget. He said, without respect, it's impossible to have love. And he's right. If you could sit there and watch him be humiliated, hell, if you could join in, what does that say about how you see him? Jackie's eyes burned with tears. I didn't mean. Russell cut her off. Intent doesn't erase impact. Jackie sank into a chair, her legs trembling. I love him, Dad. I swear I do. Russell sighed, rubbing a hand over his face. Then you'd better figure out why he doesn't believe that anymore. Jackie stared at the letter on the counter, the words blurring through her tears. For the first time, she saw them not as an attack, but as a truth she'd been too blind to notice. Russell poured himself another cup of coffee, his voice quieter now, almost weary. Jackie, you can do everything right and still lose everything. But laughing while the man you love bleeds? That's not doing everything right. Jackie swallowed hard, her chest aching. What do I do? Russell looked at her, his eyes steady. You start by owning it, and then you pray it's not too late. Chapter 8. Jackie versus reality. Jackie drove home from her father's house in a fog, Russell's words echoing in her head like a broken record. Respect isn't a joke. Intent doesn't erase impact. She gripped the steering wheel so hard her knuckles turned white, her mind replaying every laugh, every joke, every time she'd brushed off Max's discomfort because it was easier than making things awkward. By the time she pulled into her apartment complex, Jackie had convinced herself of two things. 1. This was a misunderstanding. 2. She could fix it. She marched up the stairs like a woman on a mission, until she opened the door and was greeted by silence. The kind of silence that felt heavy, like it had weight. Max's absence was everywhere. His shoes weren't by the door. His jacket wasn't on the hook. Even the faint scent of his cologne was gone, replaced by the sterile smell of emptiness. Jackie dropped her purse and collapsed onto the couch, clutching her phone like a lifeline. She dialed Max again. Voicemail. She texted him, "Please call me. We can talk. I love you." No response. She tried his Instagram. No new posts. She even checked his LinkedIn because desperation makes you weird. Nothing. Her stomach growled, reminding her she hadn't eaten since brunch. Jackie stumbled into the kitchen, yanked open the fridge, and stared at the takeout she'd bought for Max pad thai. Extra spicy. She burst into tears. "God, I'm pathetic," she muttered, shoving a forkful into her mouth anyway. The chili burned her tongue, and she choked, coughing so hard she knocked over her water glass. It shattered on the floor, sending shards skittering under the cabinets. Jackie sank to her knees, sobbing and laughing at the same time. Perfect. Just perfect. The next morning, Jackie woke up with puffy eyes and a headache that felt like punishment. She dragged herself to the bathroom, stared at her reflection, and groaned. Mascara streaks, hair like a bird's nest. She looked like someone who'd been dumped, which technically, she had. She splashed water on her face and grabbed her phone. Still no word from Max. Her chest tightened. She needed answers. She needed to do something. So she did what any rational adult would do. She drove to Starbucks and cried in the drive-thru. The barista handed her a latte with a look of mild alarm. Are you okay?" Jackie sniffled, forcing a smile. "Totally fine. Just seasonal allergies." The barista nodded slowly, like she didn't believe a word of it. Jackie drove off, sipping her latte and muttering, "Seasonal allergies my ass." By noon, Jackie had a plan. She was going to find Max. She didn't care if it meant calling every friend, checking every hangout, or hiring a private investigator. Okay, maybe not that last one. Yet, she started with Tessa. "Have you heard from Max?" Jackie asked, voice tight. Tessa hesitated. No. Why?" "He left," Jackie said bluntly, packed up and disappeared. There was a pause. Then Tessa said carefully, "Jackie, is this about game night?" Jackie's stomach dropped. "What about game night?" Tessa sighed. "Kyle was kind of brutal. And you laughed." Jackie closed her eyes, guilt crashing over her like a wave. "It was just a joke." "Maybe to you," Tessa said softly. But Max didn't look like he was laughing. Jackie hung up and sat in her car, gripping the steering wheel until her fingers ached. Russell was right. Tessa was right. Max was gone because she hadn't paid attention. Because she'd laughed when she should have stood up. Because she'd treated the man she loved like a punchline. Jackie wiped her eyes and whispered to herself, "I'm going to fix this. Somehow." Chapter 9. The search. Jackie had never considered herself dramatic. Sure, she cried during sad movies and occasionally cursed at traffic lights, but she wasn't the kind of woman who spiraled into full-blown panic. Until now. By Monday morning, Jackie had transformed into a one-woman search party. Her apartment looked like a crime scene investigation. Max's letter pinned to a corkboard, sticky notes everywhere, and her laptop open to a dozen tabs. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, even Zillow because maybe he'd bought a house out of spite. She wasn't ruling anything out. Her first move was obvious. Call his friends. Except Jackie didn't have their numbers. Max had always kept his circle small and separate from hers, like two planets orbiting the same sun but never colliding. So Jackie started with the people she did know, her own friends. Tessa answered on the second ring. "Jackie? Please tell me you're not parked outside his office." Jackie froze mid-step, keys in hand. "Why would you say that?" "Because you sound like someone about to commit a felony." Jackie groaned. "I just need to talk to him." "Sweetie," Tessa said gently. "He doesn't want to talk right now." Jackie's throat tightened. "How do you know?" "Because Kyle saw him yesterday," Tessa admitted. "He said Max looked determined." Jackie's stomach dropped. "Determined how?" "Like a man who's done," Tessa said softly. Jackie hung up before she could cry again. Determined. Done. The words felt like knives. Her next stop was Kyle's apartment. She hated Kyle right now, his jokes, his smirk, his stupid charades. But if he'd seen Max, he had answers. Kyle opened the door wearing pajama pants and a grin that made Jackie want to throw her latte at him. Well, if it isn't the queen of game night." Jackie pushed past him. "Where is he?" Kyle blinked. Good morning to you too?" "Max," Jackie snapped. "You saw him." "Where?" Kyle scratched his head. "At the gym. Yesterday." Jackie's heart leapt. "Which gym?" Kyle smirked. "Why? You gonna bench press your apology?" Jackie glared. "Kyle, relax," he said, holding up his hands. Downtown fitness. But Jackie, maybe give him space. Jackie ignored him, already halfway down the hall. Space was a luxury she couldn't afford. Downtown fitness smelled like sweat and determination. Jackie marched to the front desk, breathless. Max Carter. Is he here? The receptionist blinked. No? He canceled his membership last week. Jackie's stomach sank. Last week? Yep, the receptionist said cheerfully. Said he was moving. Jackie stumbled outside, the winter air biting her cheeks. Moving. He was serious. This wasn't a cooling off period. This was scorched earth. She sat in her car, gripping the steering wheel, fighting the urge to scream. Instead, she whispered, "Okay, new plan." The new plan involved calling Russell. Again. "Dad," Jackie said when he picked up. He canceled his gym membership. Russell's voice was calm, infuriatingly calm. "So he's gone." Jackie's throat burned. "I can't just let him go." Russell sighed. "Jackie, no." She cut in, her voice shaking. "I love him. I screwed up, but I love him. I have to fix this." Russell was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "You can't chase a man who doesn't want to be caught." Jackie closed her eyes, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Then what do I do?" Russell's voice softened. "You start by figuring out why you laughed when he was bleeding." Jackie gripped the phone, her chest aching. "I didn't mean." "I know," Russell said gently. "But intent doesn't erase impact." Jackie hung up and sat in silence, the weight of his words pressing down like a storm cloud. She wanted to fix this. She needed to fix this. But for the first time, she wondered if fixing it was even possible. Chapter 10, Russell's Redemption. Russell Pond wasn't the kind of man who sugarcoated reality. He believed in straight talk, strong coffee, and the occasional sarcastic jab to keep life interesting. But when Jackie showed up at his house for the second time in a week, eyes red, shoulders slumped, looking like someone had unplugged her soul, Russell knew sarcasm wasn't going to cut it. He opened the door, took one look at her, and said, "You look like hell." Jackie groaned. "Thanks, Dad. Really helpful." Russell stepped aside. "Come in before the neighbors start a GoFundMe." Jackie trudged into the kitchen and collapsed into a chair. Russell poured her a mug of coffee without asking, because some things were universal truths, like caffeine being the first step toward survival. "Drink," he said, sliding the mug across the table. "Then talk." Jackie wrapped her hands around the cup like it was a lifeline. "I can't find him. He canceled his gym membership. He's not answering his phone. He's just gone." Russell sat down across from her, his expression calm but his eyes sharp. "And you're surprised?" Jackie's voice cracked. No, I don't know. I didn't think he'd actually leave." Russell leaned back, folding his arms. "Jackie, men like Max don't throw tantrums. They don't slam doors or send cryptic texts. They make a decision and they stick to it." Jackie swallowed hard. "So you think he's done?" Russell didn't answer right away. Instead, he reached for the sugar jar, dumped 2 spoonfuls into his coffee, and stirred slowly. "You want the truth?" Jackie nodded, bracing herself. Russell met her gaze. "Yeah, I think he's done." The words hit like a punch to the gut. Jackie stared at the table, blinking back tears. "Then what's the point? Why even try?" Russell's voice softened. "Because trying isn't about getting him back. It's about figuring out why you lost him." Jackie looked up, her eyes wet. "I know why." I laughed. "I didn't defend him. I made him feel small." Russell nodded. "That's a start." Jackie groaned, burying her face in her hands. "God, I'm awful." Russell chuckled. "You're not awful. You're human. Humans screw up. Trust me. I've got a PhD in screwing up." Jackie peeked at him through her fingers. "You mean Mom?" Russell smirked. "Among other things." Jackie sat up, curiosity flickering through the fog of guilt. "What happened, really? You never talk about it." Russell sighed, leaning back in his chair. "Your mother decided boredom was a deal breaker. 21 years of marriage. Gone because I wasn't exciting enough. No regret, no sorrow, no empathy. Just poof." Jackie winced. "That's brutal." Russell shrugged. "It taught me something, though. You can do everything right. Pay the bills, show up, love someone, and still lose. But you know what really kills a relationship?" Jackie shook her head. Russell's voice was quiet, but firm. "Disrespect. Once that creeps in, it's over. Doesn't matter how much love you pile on top. It won't stick." Jackie swallowed hard. "That's what Max said." Russell nodded. "Smart man." Jackie stared at her coffee, her chest aching. "So what do I do?" Russell reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "You own it. You learn from it. And if you get the chance to make it right, you do it without excuses." Jackie nodded slowly, a spark of determination flickering in her eyes. "I will." Russell smiled faintly. "Good. And Jackie?" "Yeah. Next time you're out with those friends of yours, remember this. If they're laughing at the man you love, and you're laughing too, you're not just losing him, you're helping them take him from you." Jackie's throat tightened. "I won't let that happen again." Russell squeezed her hand once more, then stood. "Good. Now eat something before you pass out. I made pancakes. Jackie blinked. Again. Russell grinned. New year, new me. Don't get used to it. Jackie laughed. A shaky, fragile laugh, but a laugh nonetheless. For the first time in days, it felt like maybe, just maybe, she wasn't completely lost. Chapter 11. Jackie's growth. Jackie woke up the next morning with a plan. Not a perfect plan, she wasn't delusional, but a plan nonetheless. Step 1. Stop crying in drive-thrus. Step 2. Start fixing the mess she'd made. She sat at her kitchen table, laptop open, coffee steaming beside her, and stared at a blank document titled, Operation Respect. It sounded like a military campaign, which felt appropriate because Jackie was about to go to war, with her own bad habits. First on the list, her friends. Jackie scrolled through her contacts and tapped Tessa's name. Her stomach churned as the phone rang. Jackie, Tessa answered, sounding cautious. You okay? Jackie took a deep breath. No, but I'm working on it. Listen, I need to apologize. There was a pause. For what? For game night. For karaoke. For every time I laughed when Max was the punchline. Jackie's voice cracked. I thought it was harmless. It wasn't. Tessa was quiet for a moment, then said softly, Jackie, that means a lot. Jackie swallowed hard. I'm done with that crap. If we're hanging out, no more jokes at someone's expense. Especially not the person I love. Tessa hesitated. You think he'll come back? Jackie stared at the blinking cursor on her laptop. I don't know. But even if he doesn't, I'm not going to be that person anymore. The next call was Kyle. Jackie dreaded it, but it had to be done. Kyle answered with his usual smug tone. Well, if it isn't the queen of charades. Jackie didn't waste time. Kyle, knock it off. Kyle blinked audibly through the phone. Okay. I'm serious, Jackie said, her voice firm. The joke stop. Max hated it. I should have stopped it. I didn't. That's on me. Kyle was silent for a beat, then said, Wow, you're intense today. Jackie exhaled slowly. I'm serious, Kyle. If you can't respect that, we're done. Kyle muttered something about people being too sensitive, but Jackie didn't care. For the first time, she felt like she was drawing a line, and it felt good. By afternoon, Jackie had tackled step 2, writing to Max. She opened a fresh document and stared at the blank page, her fingers hovering over the keys. How do you apologize to someone who's already gone? How do you put 3 years of love and 1 year of mistakes into words that don't sound like excuses? Jackie started typing. Max, I don't know where you are, and I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I need to say what I should have said a long time ago. I'm sorry. Not the casual kind of sorry people toss around when they spill coffee. The kind that comes from the gut, the kind that aches. I laughed when I should have stood up for you. I let people turn you into a joke, and I joined in because it was easy, because I thought it didn't matter. But it mattered. It mattered to you, and it should have mattered to me. I see that now. You were never entertainment. You were my partner, my safe place, my future, and I treated you like a punchline. That's on me. No excuses. I don't know if you'll come back. I don't know if you even want to. But if you do, I promise you this. Respect won't just be part of our relationship. It'll be the foundation. And if you don't come back, I'll still keep that promise. Because you deserve it. Because I deserve to be better. Jackie. Jackie read the letter 3 times, tears blurring the words. Then she printed it, folded it carefully, and slipped it into an envelope. She didn't know where to send it yet, but she would figure it out. For the first time in weeks, Jackie felt something other than panic or guilt. She felt hope. Fragile, flickering hope, but hope nonetheless. That night, Jackie curled up on the couch with a notebook and wrote 3 words at the top of the page. New year, new me. Underneath, she scribbled her first resolution. Stop laughing when love is on the line. Chapter 12. The reunion. Jackie wasn't expecting him. Not today. Not like this. It was a Thursday evening, and she was in the middle of reorganizing her closet. A therapeutic exercise that involved muttering things like, why do I own 17 black tops? When the knock came. 3 firm raps on the door. Not the hesitant tap of a neighbor or the frantic pounding of a delivery guy late for dinner. This was deliberate. Jackie froze, a hanger dangling from her hand. Her heart thudded against her ribs as she crept toward the door, every nerve buzzing. She opened it, and there he was. Max. He looked different. Not drastically, but enough to make her chest ache. His hair was a little longer, his jaw a little sharper, like time away had carved something out of him. He wore a simple gray sweater and jeans, but he carried himself with a calm that felt foreign, steady, but distant. Hi, he said, his voice even. Jackie's throat went dry. Hi. They stood there for a beat, the silence thick with everything unsaid. Jackie gripped the doorframe like it might hold her together. Can I come in? Max asked. Jackie nodded quickly, stepping aside. Of course. Yes. Please. He walked in, his movements measured, like a man entering unfamiliar territory. Jackie shut the door and turned to face him, her pulse hammering. You look good, she said, because her brain had apparently decided to default to awkward small talk. Max's lips twitched. Thanks. Jackie swallowed hard. I didn't think you'd come back. Max's gaze was steady. I wasn't sure I would. The words landed like a stone in her chest. Jackie took a shaky breath. Why did you? Max hesitated, then said quietly, because I needed to hear if you understood. Jackie blinked. Understood what? Max's voice was calm, but there was steel beneath it. Why I left? Jackie nodded slowly. I do. I swear I do. Max studied her face, searching for something. Tell me. Jackie's throat tightened. She wanted to get it right. Not perfect, but honest. You left because I didn't respect you. Because I laughed when I should have defended you. Because I let people turn you into a joke and I joined in. And that told you something about me. That I didn't value you the way you deserve. Max's jaw flexed, but he didn't speak. Jackie pressed on, her voice trembling. I thought it was harmless. I thought it didn't matter. But it mattered. It mattered to you and it should have mattered to me. I see that now. Silence stretched between them, heavy and fragile. Jackie's eyes burned. I'm sorry, Max. Not the easy kind of sorry, the gut kind. The kind that aches. Max exhaled slowly, his shoulders relaxing a fraction. That's more than I expected. Jackie blinked. Really? He nodded. Most people don't own it. They defend. They deflect. You didn't. Jackie swallowed hard. I wrote you a letter. Max's brows lifted. A letter. Jackie darted to the kitchen, grabbed the envelope from the counter, and handed it to him. I didn't know where to send it. Max took it, his fingers brushing hers. A spark that felt like home and heartbreak all at once. He slipped the letter into his pocket without opening it. I'll read it later. Jackie nodded, her chest tight. Okay. Max studied her for a long moment, then said softly, I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. Jackie's breath caught. You didn't. He shook his head. I left because I couldn't love myself while staying. Jackie's eyes blurred with tears. Can you come back? Max's expression was careful, measured. I don't know yet. The word stung, but Jackie understood. This wasn't a movie. There was no grand gesture, no instant fix. Love wasn't magic, it was work. And Jackie was ready to work. She nodded slowly. Then let me prove it. Max's lips curved. Just slightly, but enough to make hope flicker in her chest. We'll see. As he turned to leave, Jackie blurted, Wait, do you want coffee? Or tea? Or pancakes? My dad's been on a pancake kick lately, and I swear it's contagious. Max chuckled. A real laugh, warm and unexpected. Pancakes, huh? Jackie grinned through her tears. New year, new us? Max shook his head, smiling faintly. We'll see. And then he was gone, leaving Jackie standing in the doorway, clutching hope like a fragile flame. Chapter 13. A new beginning. 2 weeks later, Jackie stood in her kitchen flipping pancakes like her life depended on it. Which, in a way, it did. She'd promised herself that if Max ever walked through her door again, she'd be ready. Not with grand gestures or dramatic speeches, but with something simple. Something steady. Something that said, I've changed, and I'm here for the long haul. The doorbell rang just as she was trying to rescue a pancake from folding in on itself like a sad taco. Jackie cursed under her breath, tossed the spatula aside, and sprinted to the door. Max stood there, hands in his pockets, looking like a man who'd spent the last 2 weeks thinking hard. He smiled, small, cautious, but real. Hi, he said. Jackie grinned, breathless. Hi, you're just in time for pancakes. Max chuckled. You and your dad. Jackie laughed, stepping aside. Come in. Seriously. I made enough to feed a small army. He walked in, glancing around like he was seeing the place for the first time. Jackie noticed the way his eyes softened when they landed on the envelope on the counter. The letter she'd written, still waiting. He didn't mention it and she didn't push. Some things needed time. They sat at the table, plates piled high with pancakes. Jackie poured syrup like it was liquid gold, her hands shaking just a little. So, Max said, picking up his fork. You've been busy. Jackie smiled nervously. Operation Respect. It's a thing now. Max raised an eyebrow. Operation Respect? Jackie nodded. Step 1, apologize to friends. Step 2, set boundaries. Step 3, learn that laughing at someone you love isn't funny. It's cruel. Max studied her for a long moment, then said softly, That's good. Jackie swallowed hard. I'm not asking you to forget what happened. I'm asking you to see that I'm not the same person who let it happen. Max's gaze held hers, steady and searching. I see that. Jackie's chest tightened. Does that mean? Max smiled faintly. It means we start slow. Jackie exhaled, relief washing over her like sunlight. Slow is good. Slow is great. Just then, the front door swung open, and Russell strode in like he owned the place, holding a grocery bag and wearing a grin that could power a small city. Hope you kids are hungry, he announced. I brought bacon. Jackie gaped. Dad, what are you? Russell froze mid-step, his eyes landing on Max. Well, look who crawled back. Jackie groaned. Dad. Max chuckled, standing to shake Russell's hand. Good to see you, sir. Russell smirked. You too. And for the record, if she screws up again, you come to me first. I'll handle it. Jackie buried her face in her hands. Oh my God. Max laughed. A warm, genuine laugh that filled the room like music. Jackie peeked at him through her fingers, and for the first time in weeks, she felt something solid. Something real. Something worth fighting for. Later, as Russell burned bacon in the background and Jackie tried to salvage her dignity, Max leaned close and whispered, "New year? New us?" Jackie smiled, her heart steady for the first time in forever. New year, better us. And just like that, the cracks began to mend. Not with fireworks or fanfare, but with pancakes, laughter, and the quiet promise of respect.